black people being used to blaming racism for our problems, whether be they economic problems, social problems, political problems. Okay. To me, racism basically simply means a race of people doesn't like my race of people, right? And to me, that's not outside the realms of, on an individual level, one individual not liking you, okay? Now, this is important because, success, as I've said in one of my other videos, is collective, it's communal. You're going to need other people to help you on your journey to success. So so it's important whether or not you're liked by people. But you know, the degree of importance increases with the amount of people that dislike you on an individual basis. Now, that's what I'm speaking about. But now, if you extrapolate this between groups of people, in this case on the basis of race, then you have an individual race not liking another individual race. Okay. Um, in South Africa, the dominant sort of binary there is white people and black people. But racism against black people is, it's a sort of a dislike against black people from multiple other races. Um, but even so, what I want to say is that it is not the root cause of black problems. So, okay, we are black people, as a group, we are black people. And white people, Indian people, Chinese people, whoever, okay, they see us as below them on the humanity or human scale, right? We're just less human than them, you know, or than those who believe that we are. Okay. So they don't like us, they put us behind them, they put us as lost in terms of different ways of measuring or level of importance, whatever. Okay, so what? Right? So what? As black people, we're supposed to go where we are accepted, where we are welcome. That's where we're supposed to go. Instead of crying or forcing ourselves on people who do not want anything to do with us. This is this is where this is what black people need to understand. What we know. That's what we need to understand. We need to stop crying racism. If these people think black people are whatever adjective that is derogatory, that means they don't want to deal with us. That means they want nothing to do with us. So therefore, we just leave them alone. That's it. And we require that they leave us alone, especially once we learn how they view us, right? So we say to them, look, leave us alone, right? And then we focus on ways of creating value for ourselves that will sustain us and fulfill us. So when it comes to the problems that black people have, the problems that we have, the modern black people problems, those problems are not caused by racism. They are caused by our reaction to the problems, meaning our reaction to also racism. Because remember, racism is real. I'm not saying it's not real, it is real. But is it the root cause of black people's problems? And I'm saying no. We are not addressing our problems. And I also believe that we're not addressing racism, right? We are not um, disassociating ourselves from people that don't like us. We are clinging on to them. And we're not even really addressing amongst ourselves the question of why we do that. So, racism is the least of our problems. It is the least of our problems. The root cause of our problems is that we are not having meaningful and constructive conversations with the people that matter And those are not our politicians. These are people, the people that matter are people who live with us in our homes, about our problems as Black people, problems in the family, problems regarding our traditions and how some of our traditions are holding us back, problems with regards to some of our uh, family, with our family cultures and how those family cultures are holding us back. If we focus on resolving our own internal problems as a race, as Black people, it won't matter whether racism exists or not. Of course, it'll matter. But what I mean is, it'll mitigate the impact of racism on our mental well-being as it relates to our perspective of reality. Because right now, our perspective of reality is that, oh, racism, and we sort of become overwhelmed. Okay? Our perspective of reality is overly negative with respect to our capability to overcome the challenges of reality. We are weak minded because of the chosen perspective, of our chosen perspective, sorry, because of our chosen perspective. We have to decide to have a more positive perspective on reality. And that requires that we have a more positive perspective of the relationships between us as family members, as friends, and so on. And for that, then it means we have to address the question of truth. We have to start speaking the truth to each other in our relationships and being open to receiving truth, whether it hurts or not. This is what we should do, because otherwise we are going to be left behind and we are going to be the last in terms of the races of humanity.